All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome to our relationship pod with Emmy and Iffy, where we talk, we wade through the mess on the internet so you don't have to.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I totally fumbled through that one. Talking way too much as always is Iffy Whitey, and I'm joined by my lovely partner.
Emily Louise.
And we have the amazing, the hilarious, the illustrious, the conniving Chris Grace.
Conniving? Wow.
Yeah.
Off to a hot start.
Yeah, like just with all the blood on the clock tower, I
true.
feel like it's funny because I feel like you are the storyteller for a lot of the games, but when I get to play with you, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this side.
I have fun playing.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Oh man. So we're gonna start this off with our check-in, which is things that we're excited about, things that we're proud that might have just happened, or things currently going on. I think I'll kick it off. I'm really excited to go to PAX East.
Ooh.
PAX is one of my favorite cons.
Is this
to
Boston?
do. Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons I like doing conventions, because it's really an excuse to go to another city.
Yeah,
and you have this thing that you kind of have to do throughout the weekend, but you can also check out the city. And
I was just there for 6 weeks in Boston.
And how was that?
I'm sorry.
I loved it.
Okay.
I'm from there.
Well, I'll be honest that going into this run that I had there, I was very trepidatious because I've been to Boston before and I always found it weird to not be a white person there. And this time, I think because where I was near the Berklee College of Music.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was around a much more diverse group of people and, young people. The energy I bring, I felt, that youthful.
Yeah.
Artsy college kids.
I mean, it was fun to be down there. It was like near Newberry Street and that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
And that was really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's super fun. Yeah. Then you got is it Newberry Comics? Is
There-
Yeah, I went there.
So in Fallout 4, the comic shop that you go into to find stuff for
the Silver Shroud?
yeah, that is the Newberry Street.
Oh.
The Newberry Comics on Newberry Street, but there are multiple of them.
Okay. Got
My
it.
only disappointment, and I hate to cast aspersions about Newberry Comics, was it had more Pop Mart stuff than comic books now.
I haven't been there in a long time.
I was a little sad about that. It was only comics was upstairs in the back, and I thought that Newberry Street actually has a bunch of places to get Labubus right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought 2 Labubus while I was there.
Well, it's so funny because I went into GameStop because I've heard all the tale of how GameStop games are not the biggest thing when you go there, and it really is. It feels like they should consider maybe a new name, because it felt like a pop culture store, but lots of Labubus, lots of, and not just action figures, anime posters, Gundams, and then the games are just up against one wall.
At PAX, are you doing panels and stuff? Or
Yes, but the Wednesday before PAX, I'll be doing a stand-up show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where are you doing it?
I'm doing it at Boston Laughs.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you were doing a 6-week run. Were you doing
I did my show Sardines at the Huntington Theater down the street from the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Boston Symphony gave me comps.
Ooh.
So every
Very
Friday I
nice.
got to go to the Boston Symphony, which was incredible. As an adult, I haven't really been to many symphonies.
Yeah.
But it was really amazing. But also shout out to Goof's Comedy Club in Somerville, Massachusetts.
Oh, I lived in Somerville for a little while. I really liked it.
Somerville, I didn't know this, the only, I think, municipality in the country that legally recognizes polycules.
Really?
Uh-huh. And so I think you can have if you're living in an apartment with you'll have rent tenant protections and stuff. It can't be 2 of them are on a lease and you're not and all that stuff.
Oh, got it.
There's legal structures for you to actually be in a polycule there.
Yeah. Well, I remember there was was it Boston Public episode where they were trying to do the polycule thing.
Yes.
And I wonder if it's based off of, they were
God, that unlocked. I forgot that show existed.
Yeah.
Boston Public.
Yeah. Wildlife. All right. Well, is there anything sorry, I've focused on my thing. Is there anything you're excited about?
Yes, It's airing now, but I did all the production design for Ask Hank Anything.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of good production,
really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that done here?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought people
You
were
mean
flying-
here in our house? Yes.
Yes, in the house. Which, and the house is in like a vague time-space pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, we built the set here and they shot the season in 2 parts.
Awesome.
Here.
For some reason, in my mind, I was like, people fly up to Montana to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was like, we come here because everyone lives here.
Right.
Nice.
That's all
That's
I'm
great.
excited about that.
Yeah, anything you're excited about or hyped, proud of?
Well, I'm actually hyped that the next 2 weeks I don't have to go anywhere because I've been traveling.
Hell
a lot.
yeah.
But I am going to. I just found out that in March I'm going to get to go back to my old college in North Carolina and just like hang out and meet the drama students there and stuff like that.
That's always fun to be able to go back and be like, hey,
Be like,
this is what it is.
I fucking made it.
Yeah.
And not be like, can I get a job here?
Yeah. I mean, it's totally the reason like I tried to do my high school alumni comedy sports show. And I did it as
Did you do high school league?
Yeah, I did
Oh,
high school.
yeah.
And I did it when I was working for At Midnight, and I was like, I want to say like I was almost 30, but I wasn't yet 30. But every kid said I was old, and then they kind of go down the line and they ask all the kids like, "Oh, what are you up to? What are you up to?" And that's when I realized it's like, oh, this is like one of those like you're in college and you come back to your high school to flexing because everyone was like, "Oh, I'm in college doing this," and I'm in. I was like, I write for At Midnight on Comedy Central. I'm just the only adult.
Wait, but did you feel better because of that, or you
No.
felt too old?
I felt too old
Oh,
because
okay.
I thought this would be a cool thing to like. I was like, oh, I wish when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
knew that like you can not go to college and
Right,
still
right,
like
right.
make it.
But to the kids, it sounded like you said, like, I have 2 used car dealerships.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
I'm about to be retired.
What show? What's
Right,
free
that's like
cable?
at midnight.
At midnight?
We're gonna wait for after midnight.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, that's gonna be the one with Taylor Tomlinson. Well, look. Before we jump into this, we make every guest say something nice about themselves. So how about you kick this off? Let's say something.
I thought it was so sweet in the email that you said that some people have a problem doing this.
They have like
Yeah.
a hard
And I'm
time.
like, I have no problem at all.
Yes.
No, you know what I thought was that I like that I can separate my conscious mind from my unconscious mind. Meaning that like when I work on projects, a lot of stuff comes from not gripping the idea, but like I'll wander around and go like, oh, what if I did this? And it sort of feels like it comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's happened enough now that I trust that it will. And it's like going into a stand-up set where like there's a 2-minute chunk in the middle where you're like, I'm not sure what I'm doing in that chunk,
Yeah.
but being sort of interested in what happens in that moment and not being too scared of it. So, and I think that's a very valuable crack one open, dude.
Cheers.
To that, brother.
But you know, like, because I think in the end, a lot of our creativity does come from the unconscious.
Yeah.
But I think that we try to like corral it too much sometimes. And I think I've gotten better about just like trusting that like it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
know. I was talking to my buddy Phil Jackson about this.
The coach.
yeah,
I know, I'm sure that happens all the time,
I know.
I'm sure.
It's so fun.
But in this context, actually, you could talk to Phil Jackson about
It's like, hey, help me out here with this writing, writer's block. Because I always feel bad because I'm just the type of person where, like, if I have to write something, I just kind of like let it live in the brain. I try and like talk about it as much because that's my biggest right. Anytime someone's like, what's a piece of writing advice you have? I was like, oh, when you have your idea, talk to people about it because they're going to be asking you questions about it. And you have to imagine
You have to
those are
answer
those are the questions viewers will have. So you'll have to answer them. So either you'll have those answers or you don't. And then you're like, ooh, okay,
Yeah.
now I have to work on that.
To add on to what I was saying, I think the thing that I have learned is, because I'm like this too, I will sort of like let an idea like simmer in my brain, but that can happen for years sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I have learned is to try to get more iterations out. So let it simmer in your brain, but you still have to give us something by February 15th.
Yes.
And then we'll read it, we'll give you some notes. You can let it simmer again until April 11th, but like not to be like, I'm going to do it sometime this year. And then
Yeah.
it like never happens. That's
Yeah.
the I think the danger side of that approach. Because I don't know, like I don't know many people that do that thing of like, I sit down at 9 a.m. every day, 9 to 1, and sit down at the computer and whatever comes out. Like in our world, I don't know many people that do that.
I know people that do that, but I don't think successfully.
Yeah. Right. I know.
Maybe they should let it simmer a little
Yeah,
more,
for sure.
you
Because it's like,
know?
oh, you're just trying to force it. Like, you should be writing no matter what, I think, but it doesn't necessarily need to be productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's very true. All right, well, that's enough of our mess. It's time for us to jump into the internet's mess. We're going to kick this off. We're just going to start
Cannot
with the
wait.
email. Now we start with, if we have an email, we start with one email. And this one's interesting. I feel like it is titled "Navigating Dating as a New Sub." Hi, Emily and Iffy. Thanks for all your content inside and outside the podcast. I've been listening along for over a year, and the podcast has always been good comfort listening, and I always appreciate your thorough answers and individual perspectives. I've tried to be as concise or not ramble as much as possible, and yet it is still several paragraphs. Never apologize. Never apologize.
We want information.
Yes. You can refer to me as BB, she, her. I'm mid-20s, femme, bisexual, and a POC. I'm hoping to get some advice about how to safely date or hook up in general as a newer sub. For reference, I don't have much physical experience, only been on a few dates, but never dated someone or been in a relationship, so I'm not sure where to start. I'm definitely not modest, and in theory, I'm open to being poly and or very much into being a sub, especially subspace and specific kink, and I know there's a big emphasis on in theory, since I'm not sure if I can definitely confirm until it actually happens. I've thought it over probably the past 10 years and have been interested in the BDSM scene, listening to people in the scene like with Cat Black or other creators online, and trying to understand the breadth and rules. My hesitancy comes from the fear of being arrogant that my research will suffice and I end up with a malicious dom. Generally, I think I'm emotionally mature enough to spot manipulation or abusive behavior. I'm highly wary of creeps and a bit of a hard ass when it comes to protecting my friends when we go out, and not afraid to eviscerate a creepy man in public. I've become the designated guard dog in a group of femmes and radiate a don't fuck with me energy in public. At the same time, I'm aware that I can still be taken advantage of in any given circumstances. My height especially wouldn't help me to physically defend myself, and even if I'm going by a moniker, I can't admit how short I exactly am out of pride, lol. As a woman, I want to be careful in being taken advantage of by anyone, especially men, with this potential level of vulnerability. I do want to be honest about my low level of experience because I truly have no fucking clue about anything in the moment and do my best approximation of what I think I should be doing physically, but I'm afraid that if they know how little I know, that they could take advantage of that. Unless it's in a kinky way, I don't want the other person to have the upper hand, and have found myself lying during dates that I have had tons of casual sex, so I'm not an easy target for manipulation. To summarize my question in this last paragraph, any helpful commentary or distinguishing fantasy versus real expectation of a dom-sub relationship? Any safe dating tips? Is it ill-advised to go on a dating app like Fields or trying to accept offers to be a third for partner couples? I'm stuck in the contradiction of wanting someone to take control and tell me what to do, and also not following everything they say and distinguishing my boundaries. I don't want to be wildly unprepared when I do get into my first relationship / figure hookup and be red flag blind because of my overeagerness or addictive personality causing me to be overly dependent on being in subspace. Help is much appreciated. Thanks again, BB. P.S. The few makeouts I've had have been with men, unfortunately, and so I don't know if it's me or them, but their kissing has been awful or void of feeling. Even if I'm new, something doesn't seem right. How do I get them to stop being dead fish and progress it to being an actual pleasurable process?
That last part, you might need to adjust what you think's going on with your own self. But I would say, as a subhuman,
A sub, comma, human.
no, as a subhuman, I think the best thing to remember is the sub is in charge.
Yeah, the sub makes the rules. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is like, and first off and foremost, it seems like you desire to experience being a sub in scenes, and you're afraid that this is somehow going to bleed out, but it shouldn't, because if you're not doing lifestyle stuff, it starts and begins with the scenes, and before any of that even happens, you negotiate. There's a lot. There's a lot of negotiation that even happens before any kink stuff is involved. I think that there's been like bleed into vanilla sex of like, you know, some choking, some butt smacks, but like I think what you're looking for,
butt choking.
some butt choking.
Don't let it out.
Yeah. But yeah, what you're looking for is like just the negotiation, and so I think all you need to worry about is having just a regular first date with someone who's and making sure you're compatible in that way, and then outside of that, you know, having the negotiation of like the kink stuff you want to do, what's on the table, what's off the table. There is in a past episode, I said I was going to put it in the show notes and I didn't, the long like list of like the kinks.
Yeah.
And I added it to the episode, but I think I'm just going to.
These are like the menu of options.
Yeah, it's like a very exhaustive list.
Spreadsheet of like, yes, hard no, somewhere in the middle, like green light, red light.
Yeah, and it's like super like dense, but it's like purposely so that it's like, okay, these are all the things. And I think even with before a partner, it might be worth looking through that and just seeing like the different types of things that people might be into and see how you might feel of that. Because I think one of the things you're talking about, like having all this knowledge based on what other creators have said in this, you need to start with yourself. Like, what do you want? What are you looking to get out of it? What are you hoping?
Okay, I'm not as conversant in this kink world in terms of how to frame things, but this almost feels like a writer that simmered too long on this project.
For sure.
And often actually reminds me of people that watch every single Blood on the Clocktower video, read all the rules, but have never actually like played a game. And so they come in with almost weighed down by like the amount of stuff going on in their head in terms of like what they anticipate it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I almost want to just say like, just get in there. Like, so, especially, and maybe you can help me frame this in the most safe way possible. But like, I do feel like, I mean, I've done some sub stuff before. I love doing it. I think that there's like, I don't know if there's a way to, first of all, I think many people are very conscientious of bringing people into anything like this. But I think there are times where sometimes you have an experience that isn't exactly what you wanted. And then you learn from that. You know, I'm not saying it needs to like hit the boundary of like feeling unsafe.
Yeah, like, oh, I thought I might like this, and then I realized I'm just not really into this.
And you might think going in that you will, and then you're just like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, you know, you were kind of joking about it, but I think that is like a perfect analogy of like watching all the Blood in the Clocktower, because a lot of the kink stuff is like play for the most part. It's like, you know, role playing, a lot of like, you know, power dynamics playing with that. So I think that you're right. It is like you almost got to rip the Band-Aid off, because I think like you're trying to do all of these things to avoid a fake dom, but like one thing's for sure is you'll spot a fake dom. And I think one of the kind of clear tenets of a fake dom is someone who's already trying to get you to do a lot of those, you know, kink dynamic things,
especially if they know that you don't have any experience.
Without any conversation, without any negotiation.
Because couldn't the dom vibe also be part of the instructional part of it too?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, like that could be hot as well.
I love a hey, you're home, this is what I want done before I get home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not horny, it is just like, hey, we're playing a game, this is what I expect to do. I was like, oh yeah, this like works for me in multiple ways, because one, it's fun, and two, I get stuff done that I wouldn't do otherwise.
Right. Like, finish that screenplay.
Yeah, basically.
I'm not that into the Vadom vibe, because I don't like thinking of things to delegate to people. Like, and I don't want the response. I don't want to be like, I feel like I'm a manager.
You're like, I'm not going to hold you accountable. I don't know what you want.
We're not doing a 360 review at the end of it.
Yeah, I feel like I look at it kind of like almost like you remember like charm school and like those different
finishing school kind of
finishing school where it's like I'm gonna teach you obedience, I'm going to guide you on kind of being your best self, and you will be rewarded for it.
I do have a feeling that if you're in meeting somebody and you feel like I feel like the lines should not be blurry between.
Yeah, it's not.
And if you feel they're blurry, then that's when you should not continue.
Yeah, I think like truly it is like, because I think that in the general kink conversation online, like you have people who do lifestyle kink stuff, which that, like M's talked about being in a dynamic like that where like it's just all the time. And then you have people who are like, it's by scenes or like situation. And I think when the conversation gets blurry, both sides, you get subs who are worried about experiencing that, and you get dons who think that that's how it works.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I get it. You watch The Secretary and it's like this, that, and there. But even in The Secretary, it really started and began in The Office.
You said The Secretary, and I almost said The Shape of Water, and I was like, that's wrong.
Yeah. It's like, even with any type of play that I do, like it's like, okay, even before we start, it's like, because it is like, okay, I'm going into dom mode, like it is like a stop down, like, because I think I really want to like accentuate like how that line really is there. And it's like, okay, we like went out, we had dinner, and like maybe we saw a movie, or like maybe we went to we went to a show or something, and then we kind of get back to like the room, and I'm typically like, okay, cool. I have like a gun bag that has all my like toys in it, and I'll just open that up, and then I'll start laying them out. And then from that point, it's like, okay, this is gonna happen.
What about if when you went in dom mode, you also became British? I think that would be very helpful.
If he is so bad at accents,
I know,
it would be.
That would be amazing. That would be the most.
And the thing is, you can't laugh.
Yeah. Welcome to my dom mode.
Oh my
We're going to
God.
begin a spanking process very soon. Right on.
I will say, since this person is like, I am unexperienced and that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I would say if you have friends that are kink forward and you feel comfortable with them, I would recommend asking them to do a scene with you, because that you already know that person, you already have a level of trust with that person. You can learn how to negotiate with someone you already know, and then so when you're going into situations with someone you don't know, you know what it's like when someone is listening to you and actually taking into account what is going on.
Wait, could they talk them through it all the way? If, let's say we're friends and we actually don't want to like hook up, but could you walk me through how we would talk about it up to that point?
Yeah.
And like role play the pre-negotiation.
Yeah, but also just to kind of like clarify, you can have, a kink scene and not hook
And
up.
with no sex,
just be fully.
Well, I mean, like if I actually
didn't want you to,
if I actually wasn't interested in that, but I was interested in like your expertise. Now this would be like my sister has bought a lot of used cars over her life, and she's very good at talking to the dealers, and so she'll be like, okay, let's talk about what you're going to say when you go into the dealership. Like, it's literally the exact same thing.
Yes, it is the exact same thing.
Yeah, because it's
shout out to my sister. I don't think she would expect to be shouted out on this topic.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely think it's like that. I mean, like typically I kind of almost treat it like a pre-massage thing, where it's like, okay, so today you said you wanted to do some impact, so are you comfortable with I'm typically like focused on the butt and legs. Is that what you're into? And even though I don't typically do it, but if you're into it, I can do the back and the arms. Okay, what is some areas that you don't want spanked? Okay, what are some of the hard
instruments?
Yeah, well, that's why I lay them out.
Yeah,
I go, is there anything here that you definitely want to use, and is there anything here that you don't want to
use? I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm hooking with somebody and they lay out a bunch of things, and we've talked about it, I will say that my initial instinct is if he starts laying out a bunch of items, I'm like, this is gonna take all night.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It for sure will.
I'm like, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza to get home to.
But that is a boundary. Hi, this is how long I want to be in bed by this time.
That's because I'll be like, so how long were you thinking? And like,
because there are definitely thresholds depending on what you're doing, where it's like, I like this for an hour, and then that is good.
And then you're done.
Yeah, and I typically go. We use the red light. I use the red light system, which is like yellow's slow down, green's good, red is stop immediately. And
stop, and everything stops. You're completely cut out of the scene.
Yeah, I was like, when it's red, I completely stop down.
Okay, I don't like being cut completely out of scenes.
I did say cut out, and I was like, I was thinking about Shibari.
Yeah.
Any actor doesn't like to be edited out of the scene. Let's just say you don't want to go to the movie and you're like, what?
Well, because in Shibari, if you red light, that means they cut you out of all the ropes immediately. Like you just get fully cut out of everything and let go.
Just because you can be because there's like arteries and stuff where like you can. There's certain areas like you don't want to get nerve damage, so that's why you always have the scissors nearby, so you can just get it done immediately.
Then you got to buy all new ropes.
But just for you, who might be watching or listening right now, that's pretty much it. Is like if we're on a date and yes, you should join Field. You won't be able to know. I mean, here's what I say now is like Field is another dating app.
Yeah.
And you know what that means. You can find someone great on there, but it's also a dating app.
But they also did an article about it in the New York Times. So
yeah, I know it has been flooded with like a lot of just vanilla folks, and I'm like, okay. But anyway,
but that's anything, right? Like that's like the number of people that came into D&D after Stranger Things. Probably like there's a bunch of.
But at least like those people who are trying to play D&D. That would be like if a bunch of like football fans came into D&D after Stranger Things. Were like, we don't care about D&D.
Yeah, that's true.
We just want to just hang out regularly. It's like, well, why are you on the D&D app?
Yeah,
like we're trying to play D&D.
And to be fair, Field is the D&D app. There are so many polyamorous people on there.
Pro tip: if you're trying to fuck me, do not ping me and say big fan. I'm just
Oh, you don't like that?
Yeah.
I also don't like that.
Why? Because then they're not approaching you as like a regular person.
Yeah, the dynamic
is very parasocial.
Whereas like, because like here's the thing is like I think with kink dynamics, because of the nature of it, it's you can navigate. And
you're already not coming in with a clean power dynamic.
Yes. Because you're already being like, I hold you up to here. Whereas if you're chill and you're like boom boom boom, and then like like a date or so later, you're like, I do know who you are, but I just didn't want.
I feel like this is a difference between people that have had more people desire them through life. It's like I'm totally comfortable with parasocial hitting on me. If you want to hit me up on IG and be like, I love you on Dropout, I'm like, let's fuck.
Oh.
What is up?
By the way, I've said this a lot, but like I'm more parasocial than them. So like in many of my little IG DM conversations, at the end they're just like, okay, well I gotta go, and like it's me being like, so what are you up to?
What are you doing?
And they're like tired of me at a certain point.
Yeah, you're like, damn, I was hoping to chat.
Yeah,
but I think definitely go on dates. Let them know you can let them know that you're new to the dynamic, but also like it really is like the subs that make the rules. I feel like any good Dom is going to, because it is a negotiation. So like a Dom is not going to be afraid to tell you what he wants. So like or what they want. I know that was bad form because I feel like most of the Doms I know are femmes, but
yeah, that's why I was like, what?
Because I think because she was saying all the men and being worried about men. I was
fair. But also said men, unfortunately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like, I think you can just be upfront and be like, hey, I'm newer to this, but this is that's why I think it is good to go through that doc and know what you want. Because if you're like, I'm newer to this, but this is what I want, like, then you can easily, let that be known. But like, I think if you've read all the stuff, so you should know any type of change of instruments that you haven't negotiated before, any type of that, I think you'll clock it and be like, Red, I'm out,
I have a question. What if they have a friend who's also a sub? Could we find like a Dom, like an experienced sub, so that like the other person could be like, this is not right.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was was like,
Just
oh,
whispering.
I think kind of right, because it's like, that's what I mean by like, yeah, talk to your other friends who you know are like kink forward and ask them, because that's really the best way to get information about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's the same thing where, just to go back to the blood on the clock tower analogy, it is like a game, and when someone's teaching you a game and you're like, it feels like you're cheating. Like the same kind of things will be like, I told you, like, we established these boundaries. So as soon as you're out of bounds, so it's cool. But I think it really, like, you're gonna know probably sooner. I think based on some of the kind of reactive profile kind of writings that I've seen on field, you get a lot of fake doms will try and start the dom BS up from jump. So once you're seeing that, when you're like, oh, we didn't even negotiate anything.
And you're like, I don't know you.
Yeah, you're like,
I will say, I don't know if this is an insane take, but I just realized a play party might also be good, because there are other people around.
Then people will be like, hey, whoa, no. Like,
well, and also if you feel uncomfortable and you tell someone to stop, there's a bunch of people there.
Well, it's so funny, because the first thing I was going to suggest, because even before play party, I was going to think of dungeon, and even before dungeon, I was thinking going to a munch, because if you go to a munch and you're like eating and meeting these people, it makes it so less intimidating. Less scary, And you're like, oh, I see you as a regular person.
And that's where you can find lady doms.
For the noobs, what is a munch?
A munch is usually like a lot of dungeons, and will have these just like
just a meal?
Community meetup,
and like cool. That way you kind of meet people just outside of the sheen of like the dungeon or a play party.
Yeah, people who like the same stuff as you, but not in that setting.
Yeah. And it's also like, we had a email actually before that was afraid to like talk to people at munches and seeming like they were being creepy, and it's like, no, that's low-key kind of what the secondary kind of thing with munches, like, definitely, like, it is there to build community, but like I don't think anyone would be mad if they had a connection with someone who they can do a scene with and it was like brought up naturally. Because I think if you're going to a munch, you're talking about your intentions, or you're saying, and I think if you go to a munch and you're saying you're new to it but you're interested in it, that alone is going to like get people who are like, oh yeah, and not even in a like
predatory way.
No, welcome to our community. We're excited to have you.
Also, people are just happy. I mean, people are excited when new people come to the hobby. I know it's not like hobby's not the right word, but like
it is.
It's like
it is, and it's
you can buy expensive toys, and it's not for everyone. Yeah, it's a hobby.
Because the Venn diagram of tabletop gamers,
like the number of people telling me over the last year to buy a commander deck.
Yeah,
that's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The Venn diagram of like people who love like TCGs, TTRPGs, and like people who are into BDSM. It's a circle, so they're gonna treat it with that same energy. But yeah, I'm super excited for your journey, and thanks for listening and asking us about that.
And at all those things, people will be happy if you bring a raccoon. People are so excited when I bought a raccoon commander deck, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, I thought you meant like an actual live raccoon.
Well, that was the double meaning of my joke.
Okay. Well, raccoons are pretty cool.
I don't know what this
don't bring one to the sex party.
I don't know what this raccoon deck I have is, but people are very excited.
Yeah. Bello?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It makes your trash strong. Okay. First Reddit question.
Ooh.
I, 23 female, met my boyfriend's 25 male work wife for the first time, and I'm devastated.
Oh.
So throwaway account, because this is pretty personal drama and I don't want all my friends knowing about this just yet. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now, and he's been at his current job for a few years. I will call him Jake. I've never met any of his coworkers until last night, but there's one in particular who we will call Amy. He sometimes does favors for her, fixing her car, going to her house to fix stuff around her house, etc. And I was never really concerned because he told me all his coworkers are a lot older than him. However, one night while he was asleep, his guy friend kept blowing up his phone. So I answered to let him know Jake was sleeping, and so was I. So please stop calling. Anyways, before I put the phone down, I noticed 5 unread text notifications from Amy. I guess some of the spam notifications were from her. One of them said, "Great, Jake. Now everyone thinks we're fucking." Smiley laughing face. This really concerned me. So the next day after Jake got home from work, I asked about it. He said that both him and Amy were late for work that morning, so everyone probably assumed that, and it was just a joke. I thought it was a weirdly unprofessional joke and expressed my discomfort. He invited me to the bar with him and his coworkers that night so I could meet her and see it was nothing to worry about. It did not soothe my nerves at all.
Oh.
Turns out Amy is not a lot older than him. She's only 3 years older and super pretty. The entire night she was all over him, touching him, leaning on him, putting his arms around him, and even kissed him on the cheek, and he acted like it was normal. They were constantly teasing each other in that middle schooler who doesn't know how to properly flirt yet kind of way. She told me all about how she loves him like a brother, and she told me she's had sex with half of their other coworkers, and she's got the next morning off work because she sent a coworker nudes to get him to cover for her. Later on, she started crying, sobbing at the bar, actual tears, because she's so lonely and wants someone to love her. And my boyfriend ended up having to comfort her. I'm just unsure what to do or say. My boyfriend kept acting like this is normal, that he wasn't doing anything wrong by entertaining this behavior. I can't ask him to cut her off. They're on the same unit and they have to work together. I literally do not know what to do about this, but I'm just disgusted knowing this has been going on these years that he's worked with her. How can I set boundaries when they're forced to be around each other all the time at work? Oh, baby, this is so fun because I gotta admit, I was not like on her side
until halfway down.
Until it was down, but to me, I think this is a two things can be true situation. I think your boyfriend can be completely blind to their like coworker and like actually not want to bang them, but the coworker can still want to fuck your boyfriend's bang.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because this is
that feels like what it is.
What you're right about is that this woman does want to fuck your boyfriend. I don't necessarily think he wants to fuck her. The only thing that kind of gives me pause is his being like, I'm gonna just take it to the bar with us so you can see that it's nothing.
Right,
and to me, if that was the finesse, then he would have been like, yo, just be chill. You know, like
yeah, and she was clearly not chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like if he was trying to finesse her, he definitely would have had a talk for her to do none of this whatsoever.
Also, how old are they?
She is 23 and the boyfriend's 25.
Yeah.
So the woman is 28. The other one is 28. Also, they're on the same unit. So
yeah.
Are they at
hospital?
a hospital?
That's what I thought too.
Like they're both radiologists.
So I was thinking because the one where I wasn't on her side was like, he's like, no, what are you talking about? We all talk like this all the time. And she's like, this is unprofessional. I was like, no, that feels like every work environment I've literally ever been in. You make friends at work and you say insane shit to each other.
I would almost say like the unprofessional thing would be like if that was said at work, but like as a text, it's like
yeah.
And the text almost makes you think they're not. There's nothing between.
Yeah, because to me this feels like a trying to get him to flirt text, where it's like, no, everyone thinks we're fucking.
And he goes like, haha, I mean, if only.
Yeah. But it's so, because it was funny.
I'd rather die.
She was like, I picked up the phone to tell him to stop calling, and then I saw the messages. I was like, okay, you went through his phone. Let's start there. You went through the phone.
Wait, when she said, now everyone thinks we're fucking, I wish that the boyfriend's response back was like, we lost 4 people today on the unit.
Yeah. People died today, Amy.
I'm busy.
I know. It's so funny because I'm like, if it was something to worry about, I feel like when you went through the phone, but I'm thinking she didn't open the text messages. She just looked at the preview because
she probably opened the phone.
Well, yeah, I agree. Because she answered it, so it would just be open, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Also, just silence the phone.
I know. That's. I was like, this feels like.
Wait, side question. Do you feel like when people call or not call, but like text you late at night? Some people get annoyed if you text them. Sometimes I'm awake at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
My phone's on Do Not Disturb. I don't care.
My phone is silent all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm always worried. Like people are like, why'd you text me? I was like, well,
what do you mean? Like, are you a weirdo who has this ringer on?
Yeah.
So that you know someone's texting you? Like, no, I agree with you. I think you're good enough 3 a.m. text from me because I have ADHD and something just got to me. I don't expect.
Yeah, and
you
I
to
just stopped
respond.
playing Arc Raiders, and I didn't realize it was 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to like
I
respond.
weirdly, sometimes from 2 to 4 a.m. is when I get all my emails dealt with. Like, I'd be like, I am productive sometimes at that time in the morning.
Exactly.
Now, are you worried? So I agree with you that right now the boyfriend is just like, whatever. But they can also be at the bar sometimes. She's pretty forward about her vibe, right?
Yeah.
It's possible that he's a little tipsy and like they do something.
That is true. To me, this really feels it's giving, and I know some people might disagree with me, but it is giving golden retriever boyfriend energy.
Yeah.
Where he's just not seeing it. And he's like, why would I bang her?
Well,
I have a girlfriend.
Why would I bang her? She's crying at the bar.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, like, looking at the work wife, I feel like it's not even necessarily about him. It is just the fact that she is lonely, and this person is giving her attention and keeps giving her attention. And even if it's and even if it's not sexual, it's like, oh, this is the human interaction that I'm getting, and I'm trying to hold on to it.
Yeah, it's so funny too because like, you know, the only other the pink flag I think I would be that I was really seeing is that, you know, when he was going to the house doing all this stuff for her, he was like, oh man, all my coworkers are a lot older, and she's like 28.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I have met like 25-year-olds who are like, yuck, you're almost 30. So
yeah, totally.
But like,
especially dudes that are like, if he's the golden retriever type.
Yeah.
I slept with someone once, and they were like, I was like 34 or 5. They're like, just so you know, you're the oldest person I've ever slept with. I was like, that feels like a you problem.
Yeah. Step your game up, champ.
Also, he was like 32. It's not like he was like 18.
Right.
I'm like, okay, that seems like a you problem, dog.
Yeah. I don't think Jake is I don't think like the case is closed on this one.
Yeah.
But I do think like there is a chance Jake could be innocent.
I'm also not clear what we went to the bar, we saw this interaction. How much did we confront Jake with the next day?
So that's what I think too, because I was like, oh, really the red flag or pink flag or whatever will be from how you tell him after, like, hey, this is how this made me feel.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think it's funny that they are girlfriend, boyfriend, but he has a work wife. So, but like, if I said the next day, like, I'm just not super comfortable with you, like, going and fixing stuff at our house, and
stop calling her your fucking work wife.
Yeah, totally. And also, like, you haven't fixed my car here, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
The reaction to that is interesting.
To me, it's like, yeah, it's. I like she's referring to him as the work wife, but I don't know if he referred there. But I do think right now I'm like for me I'm like 90% offside, where I'm like, this is something's fishy here, but there's like the one, I think it's like the one in the Doctor Strange, like I looked at all of the realities and in one we win, and the one is him being a golden retriever boyfriend who doesn't notice this, but like, I mean, you're saying she's hot, she's 28, she's desperate. How
about she hooks up with her? You know what? Close the loop.
Yeah. You cut in there.
They're a throuple now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since we've taken a question and suggested polyamory. Yeah, add her in. You think she's pretty? You know.
Also, I'm amazed whenever I see a lot of these things on Reddit, where I'm like, man, I feel like the basic level of communication these couples have is so
trash.
So much is like bottled up.
Yeah. I know it is. It's so funny. Like the joke I always tell most of the guests is that most of the kind of solutions to a lot of these are just talking to your partner.
I know, it's crazy.
And, you know, the last episode we were kind of talking about communication and like being able, and I think that like so many relationships, I've talked to friends who are dealing with this, where the only way some couples know how to communicate is via a fight. Like they're like, fights are when we talk about the relationship. It's like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. You can just talk about the relationship. But when you have someone who's just never had that kind of healthy relationship where you can just talk about things, you can be open. And, you know, for what it's worth, like in my mid-20s was the first time, and I think it's because I end up dating so many like bisexual and pansexual women, where like the moment like you can be comfortable like being like, yeah, that person is hot, like with your partner. I think a lot of like, because you immediately acknowledge something that both of our eyes know, that this person is attractive, this person is hot, but you are comfortable confiding in your partner with that and knowing like that means nothing because you're the one who I actually care about. You're the one who I want to be with. And it creates this like baseline that kind of cuts out a lot of this like base jealousy, because I'm like, obviously based on all the things you said, if this woman was ugly, you'd be like, okay, I'm safe. But honestly, no, you're not. You're not. You're not.
Beyonce got cheated on, dog.
Wait, I have a toxic suggestion here, which is
favorite.
To take your anger and insecurity about the situation and pivot all that energy into pity for the woman, and just make it a really condescending form of like, she's crying all the time. She's obviously trying to reach out at the workplace while kids are dying in their the burn unit of this hospital. She's
the child cancer unit.
Yeah. That may like, if you can't resolve it with Jake, just turn it into a real condescension.
Oh, well, my toxic thing was start flirting with his boss.
Well, I think I can kind of split the difference here with what you're doing. That I think could kind of, I think you would actually, this op would actually like this, where it's like, okay, she's going through a hard time, she's lonely. Tell Jake, hey, give me her number. She's lonely. She obviously need more female friends. Let me talk with her. Let me chat. Let's hang out a bunch. Let's become besties.
Yeah.
Like, let me see. Because then it like you really like you keep your friends close.
Well,
and your boyfriend's work wife closer.
There's an active element there, which is you're humanizing yourself in her eyes, right? So if you do anything to Jake, you're doing it to me too.
Yeah.
And also, if we become friends and we go to brunch and stuff, you're jeopardizing that as well.
Yeah.
Do you think we should make t-shirts that say "Keep your friends close and your boyfriend's work wife closer"?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. That's pretty. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Let's move to the next one. Okay. Oh, this is great. My girlfriend, 20 female, is an extremely picky eater and is causing us health problems. Ooh. I, 22 male, need advice.
That's the exact noise I made when I read it.
I have been dating my girlfriend for almost 10 months, and now I no longer know what to do. My girlfriend grew up in a very non-traditional family in the sense they were taught things kids are usually taught, like table manners, eating together, and most importantly, eating a variety of they weren't taught things that kids are usually taught, like table manners, eating together, and most importantly, eating a variety of foods. She still lives with her parents. I have tried cooking in her house before, but in the kitchen, they barely have any cooking utensils. You couldn't make a proper meal even if you wanted to.
Oh, man.
They keep frozen food to be cooked in the microwave, mostly pizza, pasta, soup, and Coke.
Who is making pizza in the microwave?
Who's freezing Coke to heat up in a microwave?
And this is what these are what my girlfriend's meals mostly consist of, with often consisting of chicken fried rice from only one specific place or McDonald's. Her mom got colon cancer, her brother got a kidney stone as a teenager, and they all look very lanky and malnourished.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he just let the chopper sing.
I'm just imagining the Avatar people.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's family, they're great. Lanky, malnourished.
Yeah. My girlfriend eats her last meal of the day around 4 to 5 p.m. as this is what her family considers supper time. And eating after this is a big no-no as they are really sensitive to smell, and her mom once got mad at me for cooking around 8, said the smell was keeping her up and she wouldn't be able to sleep. Aww. It was pasta and I didn't smell a thing. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this as I could go on forever. You'd think after many health problems that are food related, you want to teach your kids to eat healthier, but no, her mom is my worst enemy when it comes to this. My girlfriend loves McDonald's, which already isn't the best, and she only gets a bun and a patty and refuses to try anything else.
That makes me think she doesn't even like McDonald's.
So one day she was eating her nothing burger. And I was was regrettably eating McDonald's too. And I tried to get her to try my burger. She refused, so I insisted a little, and her mom started yelling, telling her, "You don't have to try anything you don't want. No one can tell you to eat." I was actually furious, although I didn't show it. But who does this? Moms are supposed to push for their kids to try new things, especially when it's healthy related and she's had health complications. I've stopped going to her house and she comes to mine, but I constantly have to sacrifice being able to eat nice meals because of her 3 safe food options. Going out is a chore and we can never try new places, and my stomach feels horrible from all the junk food. She hates trying new things, and textures bother her. I'm starting to lose hope she'll ever change. She has constant stomach aches, and I'm starting to worry.
Yeah, dog, she's never eaten a vegetable.
Wow.
My health has also started to decline since I stopped eating healthy. I'm at a loss for what to do. I'm very worried about us long term and her health. I need advice. Too long didn't read. My girlfriend grew up with a family that enforced bad eating habits and won't try new things. She is now extremely picky and is putting her health at risk. I need advice.
Okay, I have a couple of things. I think the mom starts yelling at him and doesn't want her to try new things, because I feel like that's one of those things that's like, if you watch your child do something you can't, you're about to feel a type of way about it, which is bad across the board. But also, originally I was thinking this might be like an ARFID situation, because they're like, oh, textures and stuff bother me. So like, but even then it's like you generally try things and then you have a problem with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Break up with her.
That's what I think too. It's only 10 months in. There's no hope. Like, in other words,
You're gonna be dead in a year.
She could find somebody that also is aligned with what.
Yeah.
Because honestly, eating with your partner is almost a bigger part of your relationship than sex. It happens constantly. Like you have to continually negotiate what you're doing, how much time you're spending. Now, the converse I will say is that he's not required to eat bad.
Yeah.
He's like, my health is declining.
Like,
it doesn't sound like they.
Yeah,
can he eat like salads and stuff?
He can go somewhere else. It seems like you're just, you're trying to be, you're afraid to veer from the pack. But in my like meathead eras, I am the one who will just have just like a wild, rice and chicken while everyone's eating something else, and you can do that. But
early on, though, I think because Eric and I had this like where it is a bummer when like it's like, let's get food, and like, okay, you're gonna get from the place you want, and I get from the, and then we eat next to each other. It's like, it is a little like, I want to eat together.
We are very much food sharers with each other, and when we go on double dates, when we're with your people, like, oh, let's get a bunch of stuff so we can all have it. And so for me, I will not date people who are picky eaters. Yeah. Because I'm like, no, I want to try everything. It's a very important part of my life. I like food. It's very important to me, like learning about cultures and stuff through food. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't care if you try it and don't like it, but I need you to try it.
I also think this is probably, you would say, a projection or overextension of like my opinion about like people's attitude towards fear. But it's like, it sort of reflects like your ability to like confront new things. And I want to be with somebody that's like, has a more curious, adventurous approach to life. Like, you might eat something bad and maybe it'll be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I had a cheese at this place called Artisanal in New York that was like the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. But it was kind of like, it was interesting. Like,
yeah, I know I don't like this, and I know why I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm the same way where like I'm just staring at this quote of the mom saying, you don't have to try anything you don't want. No one can tell you to eat. That is like just harrowing to me for some reason.
It's giving eating disorder.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, on the face of it, that is true. But the yelling of it in the moment does feel like, are we passing on some like pathologies or something?
Exactly. And it's like, I feel like definitely like, you shouldn't be doing the things you don't want. But I think you can try things you don't want to see if you don't want to do it.
Going out of your comfort zone isn't necessarily doing something you don't want.
I do think it is slightly bound up with the mother potentially. In that I think that mothers are, especially mothers that aren't particularly good cooks, are judged a lot in terms of like, you're not providing correctly for. So it's possible that the mother is like, I don't want someone coming in here showing like, you could have been eating healthier this whole time. Like, you should be happy with what I've been provided for all these years.
Yeah.
I just feel like the moms maybe got some issues there.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, this is colon cancer and the kidney stone.
I will say colon cancer not caused by food.
Yeah. So like,
I would say in general, having personal experience with people in my family who have cancer, there's a lot of people who don't interact with the concept of cancer as being like, it's because you did X, Y, and Z. And a lot of times it's like, nope, it was a random mutation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just got it for no reason.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know if I would extend it to because
Yeah,
someone
it's
else
like-
has cancer or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
well, the brother had
oh,
a kidney stone. And it's like, yeah, that's too much coke. Yeah, I know, because to me, there's like, part of me, wants to be like, yeah, like, it's probably like upbringing and like poverty, but no, it's like, no, when my family didn't have money, they cooked more. They're like, we have to make these big batches of meals so that it can last longer. And a microwave, I was begging for DiGiorno. I was begging for that.
You would have loved to be in that freezer full of pizzas.
Well, it's so funny because I was like, oh, he's going to have to start doing no thank you bites for her. And I was like, oh no, just break up with her because you have to treat her like a child.
Yeah. Well, also
Yeah.
because that was kind of like the thing that I was going to say about this, that I think is another aspect of relationships. And especially, like you said, it's like 10 months in, this is so early. It's like, you can't live someone's life for them. Like, you can't, like, I think that there's so many relationships that kind of end up, just spiraling downhill because of the potential. You should never be staying with a partner because of the potential of a good relationship. It should be there, or you should be working towards it. But if it's simply just the potential of how good it could be, then maybe you just need to like hop up out of here.
I had a therapist once because I had a boyfriend, and it was a kind of situation where it was like, I feel like I always have to like make the plans and like buy the tickets to the show and to do anything. And I talked to the therapist and I was like, I mean, it's like, am I always going to have to like do the one to do more work? And the therapist was like, sounds like it.
You're like, oh, fuck.
Like, oh, if you're expecting him to like change, because it's like, it's functioning for him right now. He just goes and shows up at the tickets that you buy.
And he's like, great.
Yeah, and I remember him. I wanted the therapist to be like, "No, he'll come around eventually." And the therapist was just like, "No, like, sounds like everyone's happy with the situation, except you get to complain about it."
Yeah.
I will say what's missing from this slightly is doesn't seem like, and maybe it was left out of it, but like, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of fun together. Like what is keeping you in the 10-month situation?
Yeah.
I'm sure there is something. It's just this is focused on this particular aspect, but also you have to weigh like. Meals are a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and clearly because it's making you sick.
yeah. Also, does he eat on his own? Like, surely he then go to Sweetgreen when she's not around.
Yeah.
Yeah, or take her to Sweetgreen and tell her to figure it out.
Yes.
I think that's where I'd get to the point where I'm like, listen, this is what I'm getting. You figure out what you're doing. I can't.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it sounds like you go to Sweetgreen and she wouldn't even want like a bowl of lettuce or something.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Oh, right. All right. Let's do our last question, which is going to be a thick one. I think we're going to have fun. And I think I plucked this one out because I knew Chris would have so much fun with it.
Oh, boy.
I, 27 female, think my husband, 26 male, is becoming a homophobe. Everything I do, he says I can't do around our son, who's 5 years old, because it will make him gay. I've heard a few remarks over the last few years, but tonight has gone too far. First time he started telling me I'm going to make our son gay was when I let my son draw makeup on my face because he was watching me put it on and kept asking if he could do it too. He was 3, almost 4. I took out some cheap palettes and let him mark up my face. I didn't teach him where anything goes. He got bored fairly quickly, and he laughed at how funny mom looks. Second time was when I brought back some childhood toys from home and my son was playing with My Little Ponies. He was just making them walk around and driving them in like cars. He also likes sticking them on the fridge. He said I need to keep them away from him because he doesn't want me influencing him. That was a year
Horse
ago.
is gay.
Third time tonight, I was showing him a house renovation that Trixie Mattel, drag queen, and her husband did. I watched all the episodes at work, background noise, but I wanted to show my husband the house reveal because there were aspects I thought he would love.
Oh, Trixie's Motel.
I said, gay men seriously know how to make a beautiful house. This work is stunning. Is there a room? There is a room I think you would love. It's a music room / bar. He said, yeah, no, they don't know how to renovate. I don't think I would love anything from this. And he laughed. I was honestly disgusted. And I said, what, because they're gay? When did you start having a grudge against gay people? He said, I hung out with them so much. The way they talk is so unnatural, and I don't like hearing it anymore.
Oh, he's not becoming.
No, we're getting there because that is, that's a nugget that I'm ready to run miles with. He then noticed our son was looking at the TV and was like, no, you don't need to be looking at this. He doesn't need to see this. And that's when I got really mad. Yes, it was Trixie on TV walking around showing her house with her husband. Her drag was in no way provocative or inappropriate.
No, hers is never slutty.
Literally, they were doing a house tour. No men kissing, just a house. I said, no, I'm not doing this. When did you become so homophobic? There's nothing wrong on the TV. And he said, well, you watch this all the time. And I said, no, I don't ever watch this stuff. You always say negative stuff about anything I do that's girly. That's not how becoming gay works. Him seeing a house tour? I just learned who Trixie, I knew who she was, but not who she was yesterday. Literally from watching house remodels on TikTok. So as of yesterday, I watched one drag queen's house reveal, and now our son is doomed. Is he being overbearing and controlling, or am I really being inappropriate around my son? I'm starting to feel like he's just being controlling. Like every time I do something, he always has something negative to say. Makes me want to pack up all of my sparkle to just make him shut up.
No, pack up your shit and get out of there.
I thought you were about to say makes you want to pack all my sparkle and leave. Don't pack your sparkle up for this dork who
who is definitely gay.
He did something gay once in his life, and because of societal norms, he thinks it makes him unable to have this heteronormative relationship and is afraid to touch anything gay in his life.
Well,
like
you hung out with a bunch of gay people all the time, and now it's grating on me. What? Explain that. Let's extrapolate there.
Yeah, I will say, unfortunately, you do become gay by doing a house tour. So actually, the husband is right on in this case. Yeah, I wonder if he recently did another gay thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's he's ashamed of what he did.
It makes me feel like he's into Trixie Mattel. Which
well, also, do we think that he instantly recognized Trixie Mattel? And she's like, I don't know who this is. I just watched the story.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, buddy. This is like in the Sherlock mystery when you're like, we never said how the person was killed. You know?
Well, because it's so funny because the reason I know he's working through something and projecting, because even the most homophobic men I know, or I don't know, sorry, that's even the most homophobic men I've met or I've seen or overheard at a bar,
right.
Will still be like, yeah, no, gay men, no, they know how to dress.
Right.
They know to try throw it away completely and be like, I don't need anything from them. I'm like, what you hiding?
Right. It's also like, where did you get your haircut last?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's because even some of the
it's truly erasive.
Yeah, some of the trash ass loser homophobes will still be like, yeah, they know how to dress and remodel the house, but I don't want them around. For him to just completely be like, I don't need nothing from them.
Well, also, the most insane part of all this is you don't turn gay.
Yeah.
Nothing makes you gay.
Well, no, the thing that if this son ends up gay, it's this guy's sperm that did it. So it's his fault.
If it makes him gay, it's out of spite for this man.
Yeah.
And look,
I do want to say that to all the straight people that are if you don't want any gay people, you should stop making them. Because they all come from you. You're the ones creating them.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is if anybody is ever worried about your child turning gay and then some transform, go to any gay person's milestone birthday post and look at their kid pictures. It's it doesn't turn gay. You knew they were gay. It's so funny.
Do we think that's the problem? He already thinks his son is gay and is like, we can't.
He's trying to stem the tide.
Yeah, because 5 is when kids start getting personalities.
Yeah. I don't know, because he would be, I think, worse. I think he would be worse, and he would be less. I know,
but maybe not even that far. But maybe the kid is misaligned with whatever masculinity he wants the kid to have.
My 5-year-old doesn't want to go to church. What's up with that?
He's trying to do some early course correction by.
Well, because I think about that a lot. Aside from like the joke of like all my gay friends' child photos, I'm like, yeah, but like
all holding purses like this.
It's always funny. It's like I feel like every friend who's gay has like a picture kind of like, like with that energy.
Yes,
and I'm like, fuck yeah. But like, also it's like, for me, it's like, jokes aside, it's like, I think because I am a parent, it's like so upsetting to like have this like built-in condition to your love, because like, since I've, had Naomi, there's just like you're just like, yeah, no, this is my child, and like,
this is what she's like.
I want the best for her, no matter what she's into. I want to protect her. I want to give her the world. And to me, like, as someone who has been through that up until for the past 10 years, I can't see a world in how I can like have something go, well, if she was into this,
I'd kill her.
Yeah, like that. To me, it doesn't make sense to like. It makes me really feel like people who are like that, like there's nothing wrong with their child. There's something wrong with you. Like,
I also feel like many parents that I know do not feel like they can do much to change their child's personality.
Yeah.
No, like, you genuinely
like, they come out with like people who have like, they have a child 1 year and then 12 months later they have another one. They're like, they just come out so different.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to make them not gay?
Yeah, and it's like, this has been said before, but I think, there's like an element of some parents who like, it really is like the fear of the world that their child is going to have to deal with because they know they're gay. And it's like, and why would you take that realization and choose to become their first bully?
Why would you manifest that in the home? Also, I think I've heard that a lot, and I think it's often from the kid's perspective, or if it's my perspective and my parents didn't want me to go through that world, it's like let me handle that.
Exactly.
I know parents are protective of that, but I don't know, sometimes I was just like, yeah, but it's not. That's my own challenge too.
Exactly. Well, because one thing I used to, when I started doing comedy, I always wanted to do acting ever since I saw All That, and like I just didn't know how to get there. It was the sketch show on Nickelodeon. So I was like, oh man, that's what I want to do. And my dad was always like, you need to do school. You need to do like acting. There's nothing, immigrant parent stuff. And then I finally got into it like when I was like 23, and the whole time I was like, oh man, if I could have started earlier, because at 23, I was so worried that I didn't have enough time, and I was like, if I would have started earlier, I could have been so much better. I could have finished all my UCB classes. I would have been like a terrible person. I'm so glad
UCB classes will make you gay.
Yeah. But
I mean, that might be true actually.
Yeah. But like, I remember
401 is.
I remember I finally had a realization. I was like, oh, it wasn't that my dad didn't think I could do it or anything. It's because he knew he couldn't help me with that.
Yeah.
He knows.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like being a doctor, lawyer, and all that. They get that. They know how to help you with school. And by help you with school, I mean just tell you to study more. Like that's the thing too. Is like all the parents that like they're like, I can help. By help you mean just yell at them to do.
I mean, were they doctors and lawyers?
My dad's an accountant, and like I have.
So you could have helped you be an accountant.
Yeah. But he just would have been like, you need to study more. I was like, I'm sorry, Dad. There's a weird thing with my brain because I have ADHD. That isn't real, but it's so funny because it's great now, and like it's it's the classic immigrant parent,
because now you've like established yourself.
Yeah. Now it's like he's like I've always told you.
I was gonna say, was he like I always believed?
Yeah. It's like all right, Mom, all right, we'll let this narrative stand, but no, you did.
Also, on the opposite side of that, my dad, terrible person, always would tell my brother, if you're gay, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, what the hell? And then as teenagers, I'm not an attractive teenager to other teenagers. And always boys, I'd be hanging out with this one boy, and my dad was like, you better fucking stay away from my daughter. And my mom's like, what are you talking about? That boy is clearly gay.
Yeah.
So you were like so worried that this was going to be what your son was doing, but could not see that other kids were gay.
Yeah.
So like, what are we actually worried about here?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think, like, parents cannot make their kids gay. They can make them suicidal.
Yeah,
Like,
they can
which
make
is not what you want.
they can make them fully depressed.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's to me, it's like this, and you see it all the time, right? And I would always see this a lot in like the weird like crevice of a specific like corner of like Black comedian Instagram, where it's like, what you doing if your son's gay? It was like, why? I've never like spent that much.
Wait, by obscure crevice, do you mean Kevin Hart's?
Well, I mean,
because he did say that.
Yeah, but I think he said his name. But there are still like other comedians, and it's always like this thing, and for me, it's like, once again, it goes to this like this thing of like where, once again, you're projecting on your child too much. Like, whether it's like doing dance mom bullshit, where there's this, it's like, oh, my child's a representation of me, so I need them to be perfect, but not actually perfect, what I believe perfection is.
I will say it's depressing in 2026 that, like, recently LaMelo Ball, they won a basketball game, LaMelo and another teammate, and in the slow motion highlight afterwards, like the buzzer sounds, and they're just playing around, and the two of them are just so happy to be millionaires playing basketball.
Yeah.
They're just genuinely enjoying themselves, and all the like comments underneath were just like, pause, glaze in each other. Like, it was like,
I know, it's so funny because it's like, it is something, to me, it's always funny to see. One, I think, like, and it's such a hard dichotomy to be, because to me, as someone who likes double entendres, it's funny when it's like pause, because it's like, oh, you accidentally said something, but you didn't mean to. But also, it is like annoying to see, like, there's like, everyone's talking about like male mental health and male loneliness, but then like any attempt
like,
at male joy, friendship,
it's zesty.
You're zesty for checking on your friend, and it's so funny because
You're having fun, gay.
You'll just like, you'll see it online, and you realize, like, like, they're just people who are like, what is, like, I remember there was this post where this guy was like, I remember I was going, on my way home, I had this jacket, and I had my mom's gun with me. And these guys were like, oh man, like, oh, that's a nice jacket. What you doing? And he was like, and I was telling him all about it and all this stuff. He was like, oh man, what size is it? And he was like, and he was like, oh man, can I try it on? And he lets them try it on. And then he was like, yeah, this is just my size. And they walked away. And he was like, I'm really glad that, like, I just let that go, because, like, I'm like, I think he was like a professional or something in his life. He was like, I'm here. And that guy, I think he's like doing life in jail for murdering another kid, and that could have been me. And there were all these comments of these guys being like, you let that guy wear your jacket? I was like, yeah, I'm sorry that somebody like trusted a human. Like to me, it's like, you're making fun of him for having faith in humanity, and it doesn't make you smarter for not, because 9 times out of 10, you're not smarter. You're just an asshole to everyone. Like, that's what I think really kind of like fires me up about like the people who try and make, like, who get like bamboozled or tricked because they had trust in someone. It's like, you're not like smarter because you don't trust anyone. You're just a shitty person to people. And you tell yourself that's fine because of stuff like that. But to the person who tried it on, is like, damn, this is cool, and handed it back, that's a connection that he made. Something you will never have. You will never have a connection with another human bred out of love, because you're so afraid to take that risk, so much so that you are the problem. You've become the problem, but you're fine with it because the problem exists.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't make you like good. You are now the reason,
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you let someone try on your jacket, you are gay.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
But yeah, no, he was like,
So the thing, what I find challenging is in 2026 being like, these sentiments were like things I had growing up in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's interesting now is because we have our bubble here, we're like, this is insane to us, right? Like,
whenever. And mind you, like, we've been talking about this a while. Let me reiterate. This is a 26-year-old man.
I know, that's what's crazy,
Yeah.
right? So then you have these sort of chain of like bubbles where it's like in this bubble, to this guy, it's like the worst thing if the kid ends up gay. To us, we're just like, what? Like, if anything, you're boring if you're gay.
Yeah.
You know, and then so I find it hard to talk about these issues in public in a way that's like relevant to everybody because I go from like in this, they're like being gay is bad, or whatever, and then we're like, there's a bubble where it's like being gay is great, everyone should be like,
Well,
and then I'm at the bubble like, actually, gay people are annoying, but you could take my comments out of context and support that first bubble.
Yeah.
But also what's so funny too is like for me it's like then I need you to shut up, right? I need you to shut up because when you want to hop online and you're like, man, it's so fucking hard to be a straight white man, then why aren't you happy your kid is gay? If it's so hard to be a straight, you should be jumping up and down because now life is going to be easy, right?
Right.
Shut your bitch ass up.
They're going into the woke lane. They should collect all of the paid protesting fees and stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's like so like it is wild that this is a 26-year-old, but it's because you just have this prevailing thing. But to me, it's like nothing is real and makes sense anymore because at least when you were hearing this dumb shit, back then, you would look at like the prevailing like people who were like, what's being a man? And it's something stupid like going to war and dying, right? But like now
having a truck,
the guy,
hitting your wife.
The guy who's like he's listening to that's telling him to be a man is online saying it's gay to like big titties. Like it's gay to want to fuck women. Like all the Andrew Tate guys, there's so many times like I remember there's a tweet going around where like this guy is like taking a selfie with I think like some hot woman. I don't know if she was a sex worker or not, but she was hot and he was like posing with her, and then he was in a room with some like tech bros or something.
Oh,
and then,
she is a porn star.
Yeah, and then the tweet was like, bro is in a room with fucking man,
Andrew Tate and
or something, and you're focused on taking a picture with this woman. I was like, dog, I don't know how to tell you this. But if you have a hot woman in a room and you think it's the most important person to pay attention to is
this balding white man?
Like, yeah, it feels like I am in upside down land, opposite world, bizarre land.
We're in our woke bubble.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this is thorny because there's a kid involved, right? So like that, it's harder to say like it's more entangled to be like leave him.
I think it's easier in my brain. It's easier to be like, oh no, I gotta leave.
I was gonna say that.
The stakes are higher.
Yeah, to me, I think it makes it more important to leave because you don't want your son around this.
Because what if your son is gay?
Yeah, and what happens? Yeah. What's going to happen? You need to protect your son and like move away from this person.
Also, if he's talking like this now and he's 26, it's only going to get worse in this and every other aspect. Yeah. Unless he has a wild revelation.
Also, like TV is not getting less gay over the next 20. I'm just letting you know, like the way it's going.
Yeah, if you think that's going to turn you just turn on Heated Rivalry, baby.
Yeah, I know exactly. This is probably
you already got HBO.
Yeah,
it's so funny because like. To me, when people talk about like media, like, turning people gay and all this stuff, and like, much to the chagrin of, the gay forum that is like following me and many of the gay men who thirst off me, which you're free to do. I'm like straight and like,
transfer these to me. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. They come to my OnlyFans hoping to see Iffy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like participating or like in the reflection of a mirror?
Participating. They're like, you have any?
Can you please be in one just running sound?
Yeah. Just
like, you got any boy girl content? I'm like, I know you're just looking for Iffy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But he's not here. I'm hate to tell you.
Yeah, but but like all of that, like I grew up like watching Queer as Folk, like I like it. And
what a great show.
I originally was watching it to see the nudity and the lesbian sex scenes, and then I was like, damn, this story's kind of good, and I would watch it. And one of my friends,
this is like why I watch Hard Knocks on HBO to see once per season in Hard Knocks they interview an offensive lineman with his shirt off. As a like side piece to like, as a side story that you never hear from him again. That's why.
Like, so you're just waiting for
like fucking
for making
Tony Siragusa.
But yeah, but like watching, that didn't go like, actually, this is changing things in me. It's like, no.
They should just do a test where they just like take you and just for 6 months they're like, you can only watch gay porn.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it you're just like, nope.
Listen, I watch a ton of lesbian porn. Unfortunately, I'm still into men also, so it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just silly, and you're only alienating your child. But like, if you're comfortable doing that, maybe you're not a good parent and should be out of their life. So
also, again, bad communication.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad that, she stood her ground here where she was like, yo.
Oh, but don't, I agree. I do agree. Pack it up and go.
Yeah.
I understand this impulse. Sometimes there's this thing of like, I'm going to show you by like reducing myself so much that you'll see how much pain I'm doing to myself. I feel like I did this with my dad.
Oh yeah.
But it's not good.
Yeah. Also, what really sucks as someone who's done a version of this before is when you're in that reduced version and they're happy with it, you feel dumb. You're like,
the only thing worse than that is when you do it and they don't notice. And they're just like, oh, was there some change? And you're like, I've been killing myself to like make myself as small as possible, and you didn't even register.
Hopefully hearing that to any of our listeners or viewers will prevent you from ever doing that, because that is probably the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just next level. Oh gosh. Well, on that note, how about we boost yourself up, dude?
Don't reduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Pack up your sparkles and spread them all around.
Yes. Is there anything you want to promote before we get on out of here?
You just go to chrisgrace.live. I have a bunch of stuff coming up. I'm traveling around a lot. I'm doing my solo show in New York in May and June. So if you're there, come see it. And I'm as of this week, I think I'm going back to Edinburgh Fringe.
Ooh.
So yeah.
I think I might be out there too.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I think I might be coming out there with Holy Shit Improv.
So. Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna do it as well.
Okay, hell yeah.
Come see us in Holy Shit Improv.
Yeah, come see us in Holy Shit Improv.
And I'll probably also be there, not doing any shows.
I mean, that's the best position because then you get to see everything.
Yeah, last second, cobble together my special / one-person show. We'll see. I don't know.
Awesome.
I feel like every comedian who has described the act of putting up a show at Edinburgh, it always sounds like a war story.
Everyone is stressed out.
Yeah, it's stressful, but I mean, it's it's worth it sometimes.
Everything I hear is like, you're gonna lose money. It's gonna do it, but the shows will be good.
But you might have the next Taskmaster, so you never know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to say goodbye. You can follow the Patreon for some extra bits and bobs and what haves yous. And then, keep coming back here. I think we'll be having some live shows soon. We'll figure it out.
I feel like the intro and the outro, you did not stick today.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Everything in the middle is great.
We're all doing our best.
All right. See y'all later.
Love you. Bye.